The Supreme Court is set to take a call on whether to go back to having complete physical hearings. Right now, the court is switching between a hybrid mode where it has both physical and virtual hearings. But once the court takes a call to start physical hearings, the court will have to take up several important cases which have been pending for over 5 years now. In the online format, it's very difficult to have 5 judges sit at 5 different places because most of them are now operating from the residences and sometimes from the court complex because technology itself is not reliable. Sometimes a connectivity issue, sometimes audio goes missing, sometimes video goes missing. So, and also the process is such that every single constitutional issue has to be heard at length. Everybody has to be heard. That takes days and days. In virtual mode, it's almost impossible to have perfect hearings. The latest, of course, is the hijab issue, which has landed up in the court. But at least 5 to 7 important cases have been pending for over 5 years. Issues like farm laws, the legality of farm laws, where farmers were on the road for months. The issue of Citizenship Amendment Act, where India allowed non-Muslims to come in from neighboring countries, but Muslims were not allowed to come in from neighboring countries, even if they were persecuted. The logic was only minority Hindus, Jains, Parsis from neighboring countries could come in. Of course, there was a huge agitation against this because the first time a law was made singling out Muslims in this country. So that is an issue. Then, of course, the Sabarimala temple issue, which will come up with the hijab issue. This involves faith and gender, a very sensitive issue. Most religions do not allow formal equality to women, but the Indian constitution does. But where does the court stop? Does it ensure formal equality at the cost of angering religious leaders and religious segments? That is an issue that will have to be decided in Sabarimala. Tagged with it are issues like female genital mutilation in Dawoodi Vora communities, women not being allowed into mosques, women not being allowed into fire temples. So these gender issues will have to be sorted out. The electoral bonds allow political parties to, mop up anonymous funds. So no one knows who's donating except the banking system. And political parties are under no obligation to reveal. And according to all figures, the ruling party is getting the maximum amount. So opposition leaders have been demanding that the court hear this issue quickly. There are also issues of the government not having a majority in the Rajya Sabha and therefore using the money bill route to pass every bill. Like Aadhaar was also passed as a money bill, although Aadhaar did not involve any taxation or finance issues. The money bill route allows it to bypass Rajya Sabha. So that has also been challenged by the Congress party and the left party, some of the left parties. That is pending. Another very important issue that is pending is the decision of the government to scrap the special status according to Jammu and Kashmir. So Kashmir was divided into union territories and lost its special status. The government was, smart enough legally to not do away with this provision, but make it inoperative while it stands in the constitution. That has also been challenged by political leaders across the country, as well as leaders from Kashmir. That is another issue that will have to be heard. So 370 will have to be decided because the entire state is looking at the Supreme Court to take some kind of decision on whether Jammu and Kashmir should be returned its special status or not. There's considerable public pressure and media pressure on the Chief Justice of India to quickly list these matters. For example, the money bill route issue and also the electoral bond issue have been pending for over 5 years now. 5 years because most of these issues involve interpretation of the constitution and therefore 5 judges will have to sit, at least 5 judges will have to sit to examine these issues. Now, given the bench strength of the Supreme Court, there are around 30 odd judges. And if you take away 5, that leaves 25 only to deal with a board of pending cases of at least 63 or 70,000. So chief justices have been hesitant to set up these benches, and issues like Sabarimala, for example, will have to be heard by at least 9 judges, because gender and faith are very sensitive issues in a multi-religious country like India. Every religion thinks that they should have special rights and privileges, and women should be denied that. And under the constitution, women cannot be denied that. Now, the court has come around to this issue that we should not go into this essentiality test. We should not examine whether a practice is essential in a religion. Instead, we should just see if the practice is inconsistent with the constitution. Now, that will have to be examined by 9 judges. So 9 judges is a huge chunk of the Supreme Court, which will be locked up only in doing these matters. That is why chief justices have hesitated in the past to deal with these matters, and these have kept on piling. So this chief justice, for example, Justice Ramanna, has to do this, otherwise it will just spiral out of control. So all these legal issues are likely to crop up. There are also other issues like the challenge to sedition laws, to the National Security Act, to the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act. All of these issues really affect citizens' rights, and as they give a lot of power to the government and a lot of discretion on who to and what action it should take against political dissidents and leaders. So these issues will keep coming up. We will keep updating you through videos about how these laws impact your life and ours.